Check out my view. Welcome to Acro Yoga with Super Dave. Today we'll be covering front plank and bird. Starting off with, let me adjust my camera here. Starting off with the flyer's position. Flyer will come into Shalabhasana, or what's called locust pose. Chest is lifted, feet are lifted, arms and legs are engaged, and the gaze is forward. For the base, coming into dead bug pose. Okay, so here I have bone stacking. My wrists are over my shoulders, my ankles are over my hips, and my legs are perpendicular to the ground, or 90 degrees relative to the ground. For those with tight hamstrings, just a little tip, you can place a cushion or a mat under your bum, and that will relieve some of the tension in the legs and the lower back. We're going to start off with a few preparational exercises before we take flight, and for that I'll be needing my partner Amanda, who's in the background there, rolling in. Okay. So I let her down by what's called a dew grip, and it's the flyer's responsibility to place the base's feet onto their hips, and that's where we want them. Generally the arches of the feet are on the hip bone. The outer edges of the feet are parallel to one another. Okay, for the ski presses, flyers walk close enough so that the bases can touch their toes. Okay, flyers stay in a straight position. On the inhale, bases will bend their knees closer to the chest. And then on the exhale, start to straighten out the legs so that the flyer comes back into position. The reason why these are called ski presses is because the flyer resembles a skier airborne on a jump, like this. Okay, next we're going into mounts. We're going to mount into front plank. Flyer's going to place feet onto hips. I extend my arms. My arms are straight through the entire time. On the inhale, I bend my knees. We come through what's called reverse hand-to-hand grip. My flyer's fingertips are in, my fingertips are out. Okay, I use a scoop mount. I scoop my heels up, straighten out my arms and legs. Then I'll just adjust my legs so that my legs come into a 90-degree position. Okay, we are bone stacking. For example, her shoulders are over her wrists. Her wrists are over my shoulders. Same with her hips are over my ankles and my hips. And that's the optimal position for flight. Notice for my flyers, her chest is lifted, arms are straight, and legs are engaged. Okay? To dismount, I bend my knees, I keep my arms straight, and I lower my flyers safely. So I want you to try about 5 of these mounts, or when you get comfortable. And then over time, with practice, you automatically come into that optimal position for the legs, which is perpendicular to the ground. Another tip is for those who are basing taller flyers, the taller flyers start off with wider legs so that they can lower their hips right onto the base's feet. Okay? Nice scoop up. A calibration exercise to strengthen the base awareness of their position is to do front plank presses. So on the inhale, I'll bend my elbows and knees, and on the exhale, straighten out my arms and legs. Notice how Amanda stays very true to her shape, which is the locust pose that we discussed earlier. And I'm moving with my breath. Once you're comfortable with leg presses, then it's time to go into our free bird. Okay, it's important that she maintains her locust position and then takes her arms off to the side when she's comfortable. To support this shape, I use my toes. So I press up with the front of my feet so that they're above the heels. In Acro Yoga, the communication for this particular adjustment is called more toes. So she'll say more toes when she feels like she's falling forward and she needs that additional support. To come down, we come through front plank. I keep my arms straight, then I bend my knees to lower my flyer to the ground. Okay, she'll help me up. And there you have it. That is front plank, some exercises for front plank, and free bird. Join me next time for our next acro yoga pose. I'll see you soon.